Stephen Howson, Full-Time Devils. This is the Full-Time Review Show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Manchester United lost 2-0 yesterday at the Emirates, and you know what? I can't even find a fuck to give because it's the most unimportant, uninteresting, irrelevant Manchester United and Arsenal game in decades, isn't it? I think the little glimmer of hope that we got with Liverpool's result, that actually if we win this game, it's still in our hands, but the odds was always against us winning it. I thought we'd get a draw at best. We ended up losing. We didn't put in a good performance, but it was a pretty even game. I've seen people saying that United parked the bus left, right and centre, and I thought the fullbacks was a little bit restricted in terms of what they did with the ball. They certainly didn't bomb forward and overlap, but I thought this was a standard sort of away Manchester United performance where you are going to try and keep it tight. You've got a team that's at full strength. We're missing Ibra, we're missing Rojo, we're missing Bailly, we're missing Pogba, who is definitely our creative spark, and we didn't get a result. Ultimately, there's a lot of overreaction, as there always is to any time that United lose, but this is the first time we have lost since October, and it's a team that's been run ragged. The positives from yesterday, Axel Tuanzebe has definitely taken a step forward in the manager's estimation. I think the job that he did on Alexis Sanchez was phenomenal, something that you would expect from a seasoned professional. It was as good as the job that Herrera did on Eden Hazard, and you think the experience level between Herrera and Tuanzebe, it shows how good it was. No one's overhyping this kid's performance, but he was played out of position against possibly one of the most difficult opponents that he could have been given at the Emirates, and he kept him completely quiet and took him home in his pocket for safekeeping. Apart from that, there was pretty poor performances all over. I thought Chris Smalling and Phil Jones looked comically bad at the back. I thought Wayne Rooney pulled up no trees. I thought Carrick didn't really offer too much. I thought Anthony Marshall was poor, although a little bit isolated. Juan Mata didn't really create much. Mkhitaryan kind of gone missing. And it was a bit of a comedy of errors from Manchester United, as nobody really, apart from Tuanzebe, managed to put in a decent performance. I hope the reason for that is because Manchester United have got all our attention focusing on Thursday night against Celta Vigo, which is a bad thing for yesterday, but maybe it's a good thing going forward. I do think we've got a very good chance of going past Celta Vigo, but then we've got a very tough prospect in in Ajax awaiting us in the final, but we're not talking about that just yet. We are focusing on yesterday's result. Here's Jose Mourinho talking about the pleasure that he managed to bring to Arsenal and some of his fans.
Arsenal have been desperate to beat you personally for a long time now. Is there any sense of sadness or regret that your record against them is over?
You know, I don't think they think about it, honestly. I don't think they're desperate to beat me. I don't think they even think about it, honestly.
The fans, I'm talking, the Arsenal fans I'm talking about.
No, the Arsenal fans, they're happy. I'm happy for them. You know, it's the first time I leave Highbury or Emirates and they're happy. It's the first time. I left Highbury, they were crying. I left Emirates, they were crying. They were walking the street with the head low. So finally today they sing, the scarves. You know, it's nice for them. It's nice for them. Honestly, it's nice for them. It's a big club. It's a big club. Do you think I enjoy the fact that a big club like Arsenal is not winning big trophies? I'm not enjoying that. Honestly, I'm not enjoying. But today I tried to win. I didn't give them the match for them to win. I tried to win. We lost. And I think Arsene Wenger is not a small manager. He's a big manager.
So that's what Jose had to say. Here's what some of you guys are saying in the comments. Christopher says, Jose hasn't put all the eggs in one basket. There's only been one basket for months. United are in the business of winning things, not chasing meaningless 4 spots. Christopher, I have to agree. I think Manchester United have had ample opportunities to get inside the top 4 on our own merit, and ultimately, yes, we are in the business of winning things, but Champions League qualification is a requirement for a club of Manchester United size, and finishing 5th, if we do cock it up against Ajax or even potentially against Celta Vigo on Thursday night, is not going to be good enough. I would rather have seen us finish inside the top 4 and then go and win the trophy for winning the trophy's sake. That looks like it's completely off the table now. Ashkay says Mata will be better. It was his first game back after his injury, so yes, I do think a little bit of time and he will. Gary says Axel's passing seems better than Eric's. Not too sure about that one, but maybe. Andy Hart says Celta Vigo rested 9 players as well and got smashed 3-0 by Granada. They rested players prior to the home leg as well, so I don't know if it's going to make too much difference when we play them on Thursday night, but this is now going to be the defining game of Manchester United's season, and then the next one against Ajax ultimately will be, if it's Ajax, I mean, Leon could overturn that massive deficit, but I'm not banking on it. Anyway, that's enough of what you guys have got to say. Let's see what Statman Dave's got to say.
Hello, Statman Dave back for another 3-point review. Today we're going to be talking Manchester United versus Arsenal. First up, it looks like it's over for the league. The top 4 is a little bit too far away. United can get a maximum of 74 points in the Premier League this season if they win them remaining 3 games. So arguably, if Arsenal win their games, City win their games, and of course Liverpool, it's, game over from Mourinho in the league. It's all about the Europa League and Thursday night. United versus Celta Vigo. What a game that is. But luckily Marcus Rashford was rested against Arsenal, meaning that it could be quite good. He could be a little bit more lively for the game. So I'm hoping big things from Marcus Rashford again, who's carried United in an attacking sense over the last few months. Moving on to the 4-4-2 that United played at the end of the game with Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial as strikers. Arguably Mourinho should have started in this shape in the 4-4-2. The best counter-attacking teams in Europe at the moment, Juventus, Monaco, Atletico Madrid, they all defend deep. They're all wingers, all drop back and play these wing-back positions, but they have 2 strikers. They have an outlet for the counter-attack. And unfortunately against Arsenal, United just didn't have that. No player close enough to Anthony Martial to combine and counter-attack with. To finish things off, of course, we've got to talk about Tuanzebe, who was brilliant. Premier League debut up against one of the best players in the Premier League, Alexis Sanchez, and had him in his back pocket. Sanchez didn't score, failed to register any assists, 0 shots on target, and of course only created a single chance deep in his own half. Tuanzebe, what a debut. 2 blocks, 3 interceptions, 4 clearances, 8 tackles, winning 50% of those. Hopefully, maybe in the future, we're going to have Eric Bailly and Tuanzebe, the 2 centre-backs for Manchester United. God, I can't wait for next season. Let's put this season in the bin. See you later. Back to you, Alison.
Cheers, Dave. If you want more of Dave, go and check out the description below. Get the link to his channel. Go give that guy a subscribe. Let's see what some more of you guys are saying in the comments. Jinjo says, Rooney was done years ago. Koleski says, why is he dismissing top 4? I think he's dismissing top 4 because mathematically now it looks very unlikely. You're looking at the teams above us dropping major points in the next couple of games, and we've got to go to Spurs. So I think it is pretty much completely off the table. Ashke says, you said we have to maintain a balance between Premier League and Europa. Now you're saying this was not an important game. Hypocrite. Completely disagree with you there, mate. It was completely on until the Swansea result. If we'd have beaten Swansea, it was still in our own hands. This game would have took on a different meaning yesterday, but we didn't win against Swansea. We took it out of our own hands, and I think the little glimmer of hope that we got against Liverpool was that. It was only a glimmer of hope and not really concrete. Going to Arsenal yesterday with the injuries and the resting that we had to do was always going to be a tough job, so I disagree with you on that one. David says, Jose needs to trust in a B team. Van Gaal was great with a weakened squad. Tuanzebe is going to be a B, says Torpedo. Axel needs to be a first team player next season, says Manred. And Koleski says, you have the squad to get Europa League and 4th place. We did, but we've not took our chances this season. And that is the story of Manchester United season. We've been creating the chances, not been taking the chances. Let's see what some of the Reds had to say from outside the Emirates yesterday in the fan camps.
Hi guys, Adam here, Dave's here. I don't know why I'm smiling. We've just lost against Arsenal and I absolutely hate these.
Shop window that, wasn't it? Hanging, wasn't it?
Are we going to be in
Arsenal fan, aren't you?
No, I'm not. Are we going to win in the Champions League next season?
No. He just sold the shop so we could afford to go to Stockholm, So we're going to Stockholm, son.
Ibra's out. We've got to do what we've got to do.
Herrera played all right. I say he played all right, but Rooney disappointed me. Like Rooney's just been a passenger. 300k a week for that. It's not good enough. Like we've watched Andy Tate, and you understand why he gets pissed off. Like
I'm quietly confident, but you never know football.
Today, yeah, I wanted to cry. I'll be honest. You were right.
You wanted to cry, was you going to say?
Yeah, man.
It's not that deep, bro.
It's not that deep, yeah, but do you know what it is? I feel like Arsenal's it's that rivalry for the fans. It's something that we still care about.
They were always that quiet here, though.
It's like a library.
First half was dead. It was dead, fam. There was nothing to the game. You lot came in, you had a plan, innit? You wanted to come stifle the game, and you did that in the first half. But then it took that madness from Xhaka to open it. But from the game opened, that was it. There was only one winner in it.
Follow!
These are happy.
Adam, man, I don't want to lose to Arsenal. And, we could finish 7th this year. Is it a possibility?
Does it matter if we win the Europa League?
We have to. Champions League is Champions League football.
So that's a little bit of a taster of what was going on in the fan cams yesterday outside the Emirates. If you want to check out the full fan cams, then stay on the YouTube channel and go and look at those after you finish this video. In the meantime, let's see what some Reds from around the world are saying in United on YouTube.
Bit of a disappointing day at the Emirates, getting beat off Arsenal 2-0. A lot of pundits, a lot of fans giving Jose Mourinho a hard time because of his team selection and his tactics. But because of the game coming up on Thursday, I think the tactics and team selection were completely justified.
Manchester United going 2-0 down away at Arsenal. Really disappointing performance and result from Manchester United. A lot of changes, 8 changes to the starting lineup, but that's not really any excuse from that.
Our 25-game unbeaten record in the Premier League has ended now. Did it really help in the grand scheme of things? Well, from that 0-0 draw against Burnley at home to the 1-1 draw against Swansea at home last week, we moved from 8th to 5th in the table. Honestly, I wouldn't mind to see some of the under-23s being introduced now.
A performance and a result I did not expect whatsoever.
Jones and Smalling looks like they're not good enough for Manchester United, and the most sad thing to say is looks like Rooney isn't good enough either.
We have the Europa League. It's clear that we're going to have to put all our eggs in this basket for this one. We need to tell ourselves we're 2 victories away, not only from winning the Europa League, but also from Champions League football next season. Let's get behind the team, because the Europa League is what we have. Players were rested, so they'll be fresh for Thursday.
Martial didn't really have the best of games. Wayne Rooney was very, very poor. The likes of Chris Smalling were poor at the back, costing Manchester United. And it was the positive was from Axel Tuanzebe, who really stepped up to the mark.
For Jose to prioritise the Europa League, I think that is the right thing to do. We've got 2 games left, win them 2 games, and we're back into the Champions League. Now, for the fans that are giving him a hard time, if he pulls it off, gets us back into the Champions League by winning the Europa League in his first season, that'll be Champions League football and 2 trophies. I'd say that was a successful season for Jose.
One positive it has to be Axel Tuanzebe starting and having Alexis Sanchez in his back pocket, which is absolutely phenomenal for your debut, having a world-class player in your back pocket.
And we can end this season on a high. I think it's been a good season for Mourinho.
Making Europa League the priority, but if we lose in the semi-final or the final and we don't make Champions League, questions have got to be asked of Jose Mourinho.
Come on, United. This is our last opportunity. And with the players that we have available and coming back from injury, we certainly have a grand opportunity, not only to get to the final, but win the trophy that we've never won before.
It would be nice to see a few more youngsters given an opportunity between now and the end of the season with not much else to play for in the Premier League.
Does anyone actually even care? I'm not even sure that I'm that bothered, to be honest. Arsenal fans have been celebrating this with all them Xhaka booms and comparing Welbeck to Thierry Henry. They're going to celebrate this more than Dave celebrate the cup final if they win it in a couple of weeks. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Wenger in. Let's see what some of the lads and lasses are saying in a 3-word reviews across social media. There we go. That is all the 3-word reviews. That's pretty much us for this show. Make sure to go and check out all of the fan cams on YouTube in a second. Make sure to subscribe if you've not already. Give it a big fat like. And let me know in the comments if you think I'm wearing pants. See you later.